Okay, this evening I'll be tying the Adams dry fly for you. This is one of my favorite dry flies. It's my go-to when I notice that there's a fish are rising. So what I've got here is a standard mustad dry fly hook, and I've got some UTC black. It's UTC 70 ultra thread, and so I'll start my thread about the index point, which is about one eye length behind the hook eye, and I'm gonna wrap that not too far, and I'm gonna probably about good right there, about the 80, 70, 75, 80% point. Fly me, I'll bring it up a little bit, and then I'm going to tie in my wings. And I've got these prepared already, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna do some grizzly hackle. And you're gonna take the tips of two of them, and they just want them about as long as the body of the hook shank. And then you're gonna take them and make them so that they splay outward from each other when they are pushed together. So they split out like that. Anyway, yeah, that's about as best I can show you right now. But they splay outwards, and then we're gonna start them with the tips pointing towards the butt of the fly, and we'll wrap the thread around like so. Do a couple wraps there, and then we're gonna fold the feathers back, the wings back towards the butt of the fly, and put a few in front of them, and that'll help them stay standing up. Okay, got the butt ends of that, and then we're gonna bring bring your thread all the way to the bend of the hook. And from there, we're going to tie in the tail. Typically, I used to use, which I guess normally you see the Adams fly tied with brown and grizzly hackle fibers as the tail. I recently was reading in a fly tire magazine where the traditional Adams actually used golden pheasant tippet. So that's what I'm going to use here. I like the way it looks. I think it looks sharp, and I think it looks good. So I'm going to grab about 10 fibers of pheasant tippet and just kind of clump them together, line up the tips. And we want the tail to be roughly the same length as the body. So we measured it, and now we're going to tie them in. Do a couple soft wraps and tighten it down. And then we'll wrap that in. And grab your butt ends of these fibers. Just trim them off and wrap your thread up to cover them all. And we're going to bring the thread back down to the bend of the hook, and from there we are going to do the abdomen, the body of the fly. And we got some gray Adams superfine dubbing from Wapsi, and just kind of dub some thread up. This fly does not take a whole lot of dubbing, but you do need to have a mild, in my opinion, taper that goes from the bend of the hook to the head of the fly. So we're going to wrap that around the fly until we get to about 65% point of the hook. They're about there. We're going to bring it back down, then we're going to bring it back up, and there's your taper, And from here we're going to tie in the hackle. Now I recommend getting good hackle for this. I used to tie this whatever hackle I could find, and back I couldn't do good hackle. I just didn't have it around, and I just decided to get me some good hackle, and it makes a world of difference in tying hackles in to a fly, onto a fly. It really changes the experience of trying to deal with hackle. I mean, this is a simple enough fly, but the hardest part about it is the hackle, in my opinion. And if you have good hackle, it helps a lot. So you're going to prepare those hackles like you would normally, and just get up to the point where strip the fibers back to the point that the hackle will easily wrap around the hook. And then you're going to strip a few of the fibers off the butt end. And we're going to put these so that the fibers are facing the same direction when we tie them in. And you want the dull sides obviously to be facing the same side, and the shiny sides to be facing the same side. Not each other. And then we're going to put the dull side towards us, and we are going to wrap the fibers in. And we're going to go all the way to the front hook, and then we're going to grab your hackle fibers, and we're going to wrap those around the hook. And I like to try to do 2 or 3 wraps on the behind the wings, and a couple 2 or 3 wraps in front of the wings. I think I put these wings a little bit too far to the front, so I'm probably not going to get that many in the front of the wings, but I'm going to try. Okay, there's the back. Bring this over, and we'll do it to the front. I know those wings look a little big, and they probably are a little big, but I like the way it looks with the wings a little bigger. I think it gives it a little more character, and it's just for looks anyway. I mean, it doesn't really help with the fly as far as I'm concerned, but it does make it look nicer to me. Okay, trim those. Then you're going to fold those fibers back a little bit and finish the head of the fly. And then we're going to grab our whip finish. And there it is. There's the traditional Adams dry fly. Trim some of these fibers off the eye, and I think that looks good right there. I like that. It looks fluffy, and it looks like an Adams, and it fishes and catches fish. So thanks for watching my tutorial on how to tie the traditional Adams dry fly. And please subscribe to my YouTube videos, and subscribe to receive email updates from my website at fishbaitsflybox.com, and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Thank you. Have a nice evening.